Welcome to our third and final episode on our series on the recently published report on artificial intelligence in the South African financial sector. In this episode, we are looking at governance in AI. Nolwazi, this has been such a lovely and eye-opening conversation. Thank you so much for making the time for us. I'm sure you're tired. You have been doing the research for a long time.
Part of life.
And yet here you are giving us your time and speaking on the report as well. We really appreciate that.
Thank you. I'm excited to speak about the report because so much work went into it. I mean, surveying the whole financial sector is no small feat. And I appreciate industry so much for responding. I mean, 2,050 responses is significant.
Wow.
So this has been an exciting journey, and I look forward to our discussion today.
Well, I just want us to get into the issue of governance. In the previous episode, you mentioned it a little bit, and I just thought maybe we can dive deeper into it. And I don't know if you could tell us maybe which areas of governance do you think still need a bit of an improvement, be it data, accountability, oversight?
So let's start on the good side and what institutions are getting right. So under governance frameworks, most of them have risk management frameworks, and with the data governance frameworks, only 55% of them have those. We see that the biggest areas that need to be firmed up and governance respectively to AI in the financial sector are around oversight. You mentioned this, particularly board oversight over the AI framework of the institution. I mean, because some of them, when we ask them where they place accountability, you found that they place accountability with business area users and not with the board. So there's a gap there that still needs to be covered to ensure that adequate board support is there's adequate understanding and a big picture understanding of what this means. And this is for financial institutions. Another governance framework that I think needs to be worked on is ML, or rather machine learning auditability. You find that they're not auditing their models, which can result in a less robust model overall, as it might drift over time, especially with new data coming through. So those governance frameworks, I think, need to be firmed up, and then we'll start seeing a good trajectory, obviously with other considerations for AI as well.
Nolwazi, coming from the point of view of a consumer, how can AI tools be used in a way that strengthens consumer trust? What if I
like your question because it circles around the ethical considerations of artificial intelligence. I mean, one of we mentioned a few points in the report, and I'll highlight some of them where we put that under our governance and ethical considerations section. And we discussed the fact that to ensure AI is trustworthy to consumers, we need to have AI explainability and clear disclosures so that consumers can argue around a decision and question it, and that consumers can also understand the disclosures of what it means when they say an AI model of this type, say cluster analysis was used to group you to then calculate your credit score. And so explainability is very important, disclosures are very important. I think another thing that's very important to enhance consumer trust is consumer AI literacy. Although in South Africa we're already struggling with financial literacy, I think the next agenda item should be digital literacy, or rather digital AI literacy, as that's where the world is moving. And the more people understand what it's about, the more they're likely to trust it.
Why are you throwing forward? Because honestly, I was about to ask you that question, what it is that can be done, because we're speaking from the point of view of the consumer, and I'm sitting at home, there's developments that are being made I know nothing about as far as AI is concerned, but it's going to impact me. I wanted to ask you, how can institutions ensure that there is such literacy as far as the consumer is concerned?
So, I mean, it's up to institutions to affect consumer education programs. It's not, we can't leave that only to the regulators and expect them to do the job, whereas the financial institutions are the ones that offer the services to begin with. And so I think consumer education drives around that, and even the banking apps, they could use those to let those through to consumers, or USSD options for those with USSD phones. So I think there's a lot that industry can do in terms of ensuring consumer trust. And I also think other things that we've already discussed, they can work on firming up their governance frameworks. They can work on ensuring that they use explainability tools, which include human in the loop. They can ensure that they adopt responsible AI and understand what responsible AI means to begin with.
Nolwazi, you have said a mouthful. And there you have it. This is AI in the South African financial sector. We hope that you found this conversation as insightful as we have found it. And it was lovely seeing an avid advocate for AI within the financial sector. See you next time.